Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 19th, 2021. Hope everything's going good for you. We're going to be getting you a general vibe card here with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Then we're going to do a 3-card spread, past, present, future with the Rider-Waite, and then a couple clarifiers and an outcome card with the Universal Fantasy Tarot. Hopefully everything's going good for you, Cancer. But remember, these are general readings, so just take what resonates, leave the rest. So try to make no square pegs fit no round holes, and don't make any big leaps in logic to try to get something to fit that really shouldn't. But anyway, I think I've done enough shuffling here, Cancer, and we'll see what your overall energy card is. We've got the Milk and Honey card. So Milk and Honey card is about just kind of enjoying life, kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? Enjoying the milk and honey that you've worked so hard to earn. So that's a good one to start off with, Cancer. But we'll get you some clarifiers here. And clarifiers, geez Louise. I'll get you some 3-card spread here for you, Cancer, before we do anything. And then we'll get you your clarifiers. It'd be weird to get the clarifiers first and then get the... man, there's a lot of cards slipping over it. But it'd be weird to get the clarifiers first and then get the... outcome cards afterwards. And we just had a pop out for you, Cancer. So we'll give you one last little shuffle here, and then we'll see what we got for you. But in your past, we've got the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords is a card of heartbreak. Of course, obviously, you got the 3 swords going through somebody's heart here. So maybe you've suffered a heartbreak in the past. This doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, right? It could be just like, of course, it could be romantic. You have a breakup or something like that. It can also be something more along the lines of maybe you had someone kind of like a friend or somebody, maybe they had to leave or they've moved across country or something. You're not going to see them as much as you used to. Maybe that's some heartbreak for you, or you found out some bad news or something. So it can be that. But it can also be a card of cutting out the things that are no longer serving you as well. So maybe you've kind of taken that step in the past recently. You've decided, this doesn't work for me anymore. I'm getting rid of it. Like, I'm done with this. It could be done with a person as well. Maybe there's someone that's been in your life and they've just been toxic all the time. You're like, all right, I'm done with you. Out with you. So that's in your past, though. In your present, Cancer, you got the 10 of Wands. So some sort of heartbreak and some sort of cutting out of something has led to the end of a lot of anxieties, stresses, just carrying a lot of weight, right? Carrying a lot of weight over something has been really weighing down on you. So, he's got all these wands in his hands, but it's coming to an end, right? It's like he's been carrying this, and then it's like, it's it. This is over. He can drop them now. He's right near where he needs to be. He can get rid of this weight. He can end this project, or whatever it is that's been causing so much stress. So I feel like you're right there. You're right there to where, like, maybe the bad stuff has happened in the past to you, and you're right at that moment where it's just like you're over the hurdle, and it's like, oh, okay, now I can start to recover, start to like re-enjoy my life again, or I can start to get things back on track, right? And the same goes for cutting something out. Maybe you cut something out and it kind of seems a little awkward at first, like maybe it was a person and it seems a little awkward at first, and with like everyone's like, well, you got rid of them, why did you do that? You guys always got along so well, or something like that, right? And it's just sort of that awkward, like, explaining to everybody like how you felt or whatever. Not that you have to explain that kind of stuff to everybody, you do you, right? But you can go through that phase regardless, where people are just asking you questions about that kind of stuff. But anyway, and it feels like that period's over. Now you can kind of like, oh, that weight's off my shoulders. I can go forth and be free now, right? So I like that. In your future, we got the 5 of Swords, card of defeat, and it can be and different stages of defeat, right? You got the one guy in the back that's just been like, this has rendered him hopeless. You got the other guy that's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'm done here. And then the last guy's got all the swords, and he's like, yeah, I crushed you guys. Like, I won decisively. So, maybe you're going to be feeling defeated in the future, even though you've gone through all this stuff and you've got the weight off your shoulders. You can still have that residual feeling like, sometimes somebody does that to you, right? If you have a toxic person in your life, and I know I've had them in my life before, where you get rid of them, you cut them out, and then afterwards you kind of have that guilt. You kind of have that guilt feeling, or that feeling in the back of your head where you feel like, oh man, like, did I do the right thing? Like, everyone's questioning me, right? Like we were talking before, and it just feels like, oh, like, did I do it right? Did I do the right thing? I feel like you did, regardless. You may feel defeated. You may feel like, you know, you couldn't rectify that situation, right? You couldn't turn that relationship around. You couldn't save that person from coming back. You couldn't do whatever it is, right? Like whatever you were trying to accomplish, whatever that turnaround looks like for you. I just had a card flip over here. Oh, of course, it's like the second one. Anyway, but it might feel like you have been defeated or something, and it might feel that way. It might feel like, you know, did I make the right move? And everyone's questioning everything on me. But that feeling, it's not going to last, and it's just kind of in your head. And it's just, I look at this as more of a defeatist attitude rather than like you actually being defeated, right? I feel like it's just more you feel like the other guys here in the picture. We just had a pop out here for your outcome cards, or your clarifier cards rather. Jeez Louise, I am tongue-tied to hell today, I'll tell you that. But maybe you feel more like the other two here in the picture, where it's like you feel like you've been crushed and you feel like you've been beaten down, and you just feel like, did I make the right decision? I feel so embarrassed. Like, you know, everyone's seen like what happened there, or so public, or however, right? Everyone knows what happened. But the thing is, like, you did what was right for you regardless, I feel like. And like, you can get over this. This is just like temporary. Don't worry about it, right? But anyway, before we get you some more outcome cards, or doing it again, before we get you some more clarifier cards here and an outcome card, if you could leave a like there, Cancer, I really appreciate that. You can also subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't already. That way you'll get updated on any time I upload a new video. You can go check it out right away. You can also check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising videos after this one if they're up already, and hopefully you'll get a look at what might be coming for you in the week ahead. So that should be good stuff, Cancer. Hopefully some more positivity coming your way, or something to help you kind of lift up out of this gloom that seems to be going on. But anyway, let's see what we got aside from this pop out that we had, which is the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of balance. It's between the Three of Swords and the Ten of Wands. So a card of balance, a card of giving, a card of being generous, but not being so generous that it hurts you. I would say here that with this, it's sort of like, at this time, try to live balanced, right? Don't try to feed into the negativity, you know, even though you do feel negative emotions at this time, right? With the Three of Swords, the Ten of Wands, even though you probably are feeling a lot of negative emotions, even with this Five of Swords here. These are some not so positive cards, but this is kind of saying, try to take a balanced approach to it, right? Like yin and yang, right? There's even when things are going bad, there's still a little bit of good there, right? This toxic person or whoever is out of your life. This person's gone. So that can be good, right? You can start to heal and start to move in a more positive direction, right? It's kind of like cutting off, like, you know, I guess a gross like pus tumor or something, like, right? Like, it's like getting rid of that. It's like, that's gone now. That's great. Now your body can heal up and you'll be back to good as new before you know it, right? So that's what I see with that. Between the Ten of Wands and the Five of Swords, we got the Five of Cups. So two fives here is generally sort of conflict is how I see it, is like a lot of conflict. So maybe you're feeling really conflicted because you thought that this person was going to be your way to happiness, right? Like, this is what the Five of Cups is all about. It's about getting to where you're going, but not the way you thought you were going to do it. So potentially what I'm seeing here is that if this was like a relationship and you've broken up with them, or they've broken up with you, it's like you thought this was going to be your person. This was going to be your happily ever after, your ticket to it. But unfortunately, this is kind of saying that that's not your way to go, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get there. It just means you have to go another path. There's somebody else out there for you. So I like that a lot. Remember, rejection is redirection, right? So I like that. In your outcome card, we got Aries, we got the Emperor. So this is the big boss, right? So this could be an Aries coming in for you in the future. It could also just be you bossing up. You realizing like, hey, I can't sit here and be glum about this situation all the time. I can't let this ruin my life, control my life, and what have you. You gotta take in charge. You gotta be the boss. You gotta go forward, right? If you want to get to your happily ever after, you want to get to your positive outcome, you can't sit here and mope and cry about the fact that you thought this person was going to be with you forever. Or you can't sit here and doom and gloom over the fact that there's some negativity in your life. You got to press on. Unfortunately, the world goes on whether we go with it or not, right? The world doesn't stop just because one person is upset about something. It may feel like your world has stopped, but the world as a whole doesn't, which means the person that is out there for you isn't stopping either, right? So you got to boss up, you got to get ready, because when that person shows up, you got to be ready for them, and they're coming in the future. So you got to take the reins, you got to boss up to get to that person, right? So I like that. With the milk and honey card over top of all this, I would just say, like I say, when you take that balanced approach, remember to enjoy the positivities of all this. Like, you've worked hard to get where you're at, and this is just another bump in the road, sure, and another lesson to be learned, and take what you can from this experience, but enjoy the things that are good in your life at this time too, while you are getting back into your norm and getting back into full power mode, so that you can boss up, meet that person of your dreams, live happily ever after, go after what you want in your life. So I like that a lot, Cancer. Hope that helps you out in the week ahead. Remember, you can check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising videos after this. You can like and subscribe, hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you, Cancer, in the next video.